We'll start the recording too. Okay. So once again, a small recap. We'll see what are the things we have covered so far. So we have covered about the variables, data types, global and local variable, functions, static and non-static, and then string concatenation we have seen, and then we have seen about the post and pre-increment, and method overloading we have seen. These are the steps actually what we have seen so far. So then now we are going to see for actually what the constructor today. Okay, so first we will start with that. So let me close these things. I'll create a new package here. I'll also open, give a minute. I'll open another Eclipse in the meantime. Okay, so already we have a package. So I just want informations from everyone. So how far you guys have understood about the functions? We'll see a small recap, and then based on that, actually, what we will jump on to our constructor. Okay, that's the one thing I just want to see. Functions types. So I'll randomly ask questions from each and everyone. Just give a try. Okay. So in case if you're not able to do it, no worries. Anyway, I'm here to help you guys. Okay. Don't worry. Just give a try in case if you're able to execute whatever I'm trying to make it. Okay. So I'll ask first. Hey, hi, Sirisha.
Hi, Murali.
Sirisha, can you help me? I want to write a function, a basic function, which is of void return type and which does not have any argument.
Okay.
That is a function without any return type and then no arguments, a basic function.
Yeah, it's void M1.
So where I need to write which line number?
Before the static.
So why can't I write inside this?
Because functions will be declared before main function.
Super.
Main is also one kind of function, right?
Super. Inside a function, we cannot have another function. That's the reason. Awesome. So here, void.
M1 example.
Yes, M1.
Braces.
Yes, open and close parenthesis. That represents it's a function.
Yes.
Yes.
And CISO.
CISO.
Yeah. M1 method or M1 function.
Yes. Just print M1. Super. So now, can you help me how I can call this method? Actually, what type of method it is? Static or non-static?
Non-static.
Yes. If it is non-static, okay. First, if it is static, how can I call it? I'll make it as static. Can you help me? How can I call the static method?
Yeah, with the class name.
Yes. Function types dot M1.
Yes.
Super. In case if it is a non-static,
directly we can call.
No.
With some object.
Yes. So function types obj1 equal to new
function types.
Function types. So we created the object.
Yeah.
Then
obj1 dot M1.
M1. Super. Hey, good, Sirisha. Awesome.
Thank you.
So now I'll ask next. Hey, hi, Dish. Hello. Hey, Dish. Can you help me? Now I want a function which is of an integer return type, and then it should accept a string argument.
So function of
a function which has an integer return type.
Integer return. So void int.
Return type is actually what? Integer. So void is
sorry, int.
Awesome. Super. Int
M1 or M2.
Okay, M2. Super.
And in parentheses, you have parameter of string,
Some string.
S,
Yes.
and then curly braces.
So now I will just give scissor. Here I'll just give M2 of integer return type. So then I will just try to print the argument which I'm going to get, but it's throwing me error. Can you tell me how to rectify the error?
Well, yeah, it's gonna give you an error because you're returning the string S here. So we need to, I guess, declare another local variable.
This string S is what? Actually, it's an argument.
Yeah.
Okay. This integer is a
It's the return type.
Return type. Super. Then that means what I need to do?
So either change that to integer if you want to return integer. So
no. If I make it as integer, still throws me an error. No. If you see the error, you will come to know. So if you read it, this method must
okay,
return.
we need to add the return statement.
Super. So can I have a return statement here? Return an integer value. Can I have it here?
I think it has to be at the end of the.
Yes, correct. Always return statement should be at the end of the line. Yes, that's it. A good addition. Awesome. Can you help me now how I can call this method?
So again, you can use object1.m2.
Yes.
And in the parentheses include a string.
Alright, super. So here in this M1, if you see, it's saying it's actually what does not accept any argument, and then the return type is void. So here it says the M2 method accepts string as an argument, and the return type is integer. Okay, super. Yes. In double quotes, I will just give hi. Yes. Now this will go and call me this M2 method. So now it's going to return me 10, right? I want to capture it in a variable and then I want to print it. Can you tell me how I can?
Declare a variable integer, say I equals to.
Yes, integer I equal to. Then I can print it, so I. That's it. A good Nitish, awesome man, good.
Thank you.
So now let me execute it, see. The first one, obj.m1, for that it prints me m1 here. Then I'm creating an I'm just trying to call m2 method here. There I'm passing hi in the string variable. Then it prints me m2 of integer return type, and then hi is the argument I'm passing. Then it returns me 10. That 10 comes over here. That is stored under the I variable. Then I'm trying to actually print the I variable, that is 10 here. Got it? Any questions for anyone, guys, on this? This is what we have seen so far. Anyone has any questions on the functions?
Murli, can I create a wide, float M1 or something like that? Yesterday, actually, I tried to create a float. It's throwing me an error.
Yes. So float actually what for this, all these things actually what we will use actually what double over here. Okay. See integer a I will just give. Okay. So then return type actually what return 20.30. Then I can give you a float. It throws me an error. Same thing actually what can I give actually what byte. So if you see double for decimals always be used and integers for always for this. So in case can I make it as long? It actually what has some error over here. Right click run as Java application. The same thing, can I use short here? Integer can I use? Yes. So the reason behind this actually what means. So right now actually what when you're using a very longer number over there, that time I can go for actually what float over what is the long over here. Otherwise we always try to go with integer only. Same thing for double also actually what whenever decimal comes over there, the preferred data type actually what is double. So very rarely actually what we go for float over there. So always preferred is double for decimal, integer for our what is it numbers. Same thing happens for the variable level also if you have. Got it?
Yes, Murali.
Hi,
So
Murli.
yes,
Yeah,
Shivan. Srinivas, yeah.
yeah. Can you please explain how to call? Suppose if I have given static into uh, instead of here in the 8th line.
Eighth line, okay.
Yeah. Suppose if I have given static ink
Yes.
and I have given CISO and I have written some value. When I execute,
Yeah.
I got only this written value. I not get this CISO what we have entered in CISO.
Okay, so the thing is actually what my output will be same only. There will not be any changes. If you see here, right click, run as Java application. So static members actually what the only thing is the preferred standardized practice is actually what to call with help of a class name.
Correct.
That's the one thing. But apart from that, execution remains same. There will not be any changes. So function types dot m2. So now what will happen? It goes and call me this m2 method. There it passes actually what an argument high here.
Okay.
Then m2 of integer return type. Then after that I'm printing the value high. Then after that it's going to return me 10 because the integer is a return type.
Okay.
That 10 now it comes over here.
One small joke, Murli.
Yeah,
Suppose
please.
I mean for static value.
Yes.
Even if we go creating object, we can call using class type, no?
Yes. The thing is, static members, the preferred one is always to call with help of my class name.
Okay.
So,
Or else we can create an object and we can call. Even if
correct.
there is no non-static values, we can create an object, we can call the...
Yes, still you can call like that, but that's not a preferred way. But still you can do that.
Okay. And this CISO is not mandated in Murli. I mean, suppose if we have created static ink and CISO, even I can execute the program without having CISO.
Correct. Yes, you can.
Okay.
The only thing is CISO means what? It tries to print me the information. If you don't want to print anything, you want to store it in a variable and then utilize it, still we can do that.
Thank you, Murli.
Okay, cool. Good guys. So this is about the functions so far we have seen over there. The functions actually what names actually what this is also M1, this is also M1. How this can be differed means based on the arguments. This concept is called as method overloading. Based on method overloading, we can differ a method here. Okay, cool. Next actually what we'll go for constructors. So I'll create a class. So how to use a constructor? So simple. Okay. So as of now, I have a main function as usual. Syszone program starts. Syszone program ends. How actually what a constructor can be used? So here I will just give rename the class. So for example, so that it will be easy for me. I will not get confused. So I will just give my constructor just a name. I just changing it over there. So my constructor is my class name. Okay. So now how a constructor will be written means so simple. The constructor will have the name as my class name. Then Syszone default constructor. Okay. This is how we used to write it. Okay. So here the constructor does not have a argument here. Okay, can a constructor can have an argument here? Yes. So the constructors can be deferred as like method overloading. Here also we have here constructor overloading. Same thing, the constructors can be deferred based on the number of arguments or based on the type of arguments. See, integer a, comma, double b. Double b. The constructors can have return types? No. The constructors cannot have a return type. It can have only arguments. Based on the arguments, the constructors get deferred. How a constructor can be called? So simple. Whenever we create an object, the constructors are being called. That's it. So now, when we create the object itself, the constructor will be called. So which constructor will be called? So if I don't pass any argument, the default constructor will be called. When I pass an argument, based on that specific constructor will be called. Right click. See here now, I will just run it. First program starts, then I'm creating an object. When I create an object over here, do I pass any argument here? No. So it goes and call me the default constructor. Default constructor is a constructor which does not have an argument. Default method is a method which does not have an argument here. So default, okay, sorry. I'll just do one small change. Integer constructor. Integer and double. Double and integer. Here. See. Okay, so let me execute it. It's calling the default constructor. In case if I want to call the integer constructor, I just need to pass an integer value over here, 10. So now if you see, first program starts, then new constructor of 10. This will pass actually what? An integer value here. Integer constructor plus a, that is a value is what? 10 for me right now. Then program ends. Got it? Now, hey, hi Susan.
Hi, Murli.
Can you help me? I want to call this double an integer constructor. Can you tell me what I need to do?
Yeah, my constructor or BJ1 is, yeah, you can change.
Yeah. Line number 16, what is the change that I need to do?
Yeah, inside the parenthesis, you have to change it with the integer a and one more double value.
Yes. So, no, I want to call double an integer.
Okay, then I need to change it with the double and then integer. First a double value and then an integer value.
Yes, correct. That's it. Got it. Any questions for anyone on this constructor? Anyone has any questions on this? Everyone is clear on this part? Can everyone ping me as yes if you're clear about the constructor? Can everyone ping me? Super. So now we'll try to execute one program So which gives you, okay, before going to that, we'll see one more thing. So static and non-static blocks also we will see. So which will give you more understanding. And one more thing, we have not seen how it is being used in real time. Oh yeah, good. Sirisha has asked the same question over there. Good. So what is the use of this constructor? Where we exactly use? Okay, and there is a question from Shivanand also. What is the difference between method and constructor? Yes, we will see that also. Okay, so what is the usage of this constructor means? Okay, so how constructors are being called means whenever we create an object, by default actually what those constructors are being executed. Correct? Whenever we create an object, that time by default the constructors are being executed. That is in method level what we need to explicitly call the method. Okay, and one more thing, method level, whenever I need, I can call the method and then I can utilize. But constructor level, only when we create the object, the specific constructors are being called. Do we create multiple objects for a class over there? No. We used to create only one object. So, what type of information can be written there? So we used to actually what have only the lines which we need to execute during my actually what that is actually what when I create an object, I have some set of lines that need to be executed for me. Only those things alone I need to keep it in the constructor. So in Selenium framework level, if you see what are things that we used to have it in the constructor level. So usually when we create an object over there, what will happen? It calls the constructor. In the constructor, I will have an information over there. So, oh, sorry, just a minute, guys. Give me 2 minutes over there. Actually, my bird has came out. It's just running here and there. Just give me a minute. I will just catch it and I'll just leave it outside. Give me a minute. Hello. Hey, I'm very sorry, guys. So now it's clear, right? Good. Yeah. Okay. So why we need constructor elements? Okay. So in the Selenium framework level, so what we used to do, so we have some set of lines that need to be executed whenever we create an object. So usually when we create an object for the class, so there we will have our test cases in that. For example, a module level or a functionality level, I will be separating the classes, and then we will be creating an object for that class. So there in that object, when we are creating it over there, so we will have actually what the basic steps that we need for that class there. That means, for example, I'll be creating actually what my browser, the driver control over there. So those driver control information, I will make it actually what a common for that specific class. That is what. Then after that, actually, I will be making actually what the specific information. So globally, there are some variables that I need to assign some values. So those things also I will be giving the value over there. So globally, when I want to give some values, all those things actually we will try to give it in that constructor level. So that one time it creates the object, and then after that it loads the information for the entire class. So those things. So going forward, I will also show you some example when we come to the framework level. So you will understand the same thing. Whatever we learned here, there we will apply the information there. Okay, those things we will see. Understood, guys? So then next. So next, actually, what here we will go. So what is the usage of SIB and IIB? So how actually what a block will be written means so simple. Anything that comes with actually what open parenthesis and then closes it, that we will be calling it as a block. Okay, so this is a block for a method. Okay, so here if I have actually what there are two types of blocks available. One is static block, another one is non-static block. When I have a block which does not have any keyword, that is called as a non-static block. I can have multiple blocks in a single class. I can have multiple blocks. Then if I have actually what a block which has a keyword called static before that, that is called as a static block. Okay. So how these blocks will be executed? So simple. Okay. So static blocks, if you see that I don't want to do anything for that. See, program starts, and then we have program ends. So now when you run it, if you see, static block 1, static block 2, program starts, program ends. Got it? So static blocks are being executed in a sequential order. Okay, always the blocks will be executed in a sequential order here. Then after that only your main function executes. Because why? The first memory which will be created will be what? Static pool. Inside the static pool only all these static blocks will be loaded. So the first preference will be given for the blocks. So that will be executed first. Then after that only actually what your main function will be executed for us. Okay, so first thing is actually what? My static blocks. After all the static blocks are executed, then only my main function will execute. Then non-static actually what blocks, how it will be executed? It's a known thing. So always non-static members, how we will use it? Whenever we create an object for that class. So I'm going to create an object for this class. Say one equal to new SID. That's it. So now right click, run as Java application. See, so here first both the static blocks are executed. Then after that, the main function starts to execute. Program starts, and then we create an object. When we create the object, the non-static blocks are being executed in a sequential order. Then finally, program ends. So here I will just give sysO program back to main. And once again, I'll try to create an object. Now, if you see obj2, now if you see my output, the first thing, my static blocks are being executed in a sequential order. Then after that, main function starts to execute, program starts. Then after that, we create an object for this class. So here, both the non-static blocks are executed as non-static block 1 and 2. Then after that, again, back to main. Then after that, again, we create an object. Once again, the non-static blocks are being executed. Then after that, again, program ends. So what I'm trying to say here means, so static blocks, it's like actually what it will have a single copy. So it will be executed only once in the entire program at the beginning. Again, if you want to call them, it is not possible. But non-static blocks, it will be executed for each and every time whenever we create an object here. Okay, so that is what non-static blocks. Here again, I will have the constructors also for this. How a constructor will be written? A class name and then a block. sysO default constructor. Then again, I will have it as an integer constructor. That is, it accepts an integer argument. Integer here. Double E. Okay. And now if you see, right click, run as Java application. So now what will happen? First, static blocks will be executed. Then after that, my main function. So program starts. Then after that, I create an object. Here, am I passing any argument? No. So now what will happen? Here, first non-static blocks are being executed. Non-static block 1 and 2. Then the constructor which matches for the argument, which does not have an argument, is what matches. So the default constructor executes. Then after that, back to main. Then again comes here. Now next actually what? Again, I'm trying to create another object. So now what will happen right now? Am I passing any argument? No. So first actually what? The non-static blocks. Then after that, the matching constructor. Then finally program ends. That is, before the constructor, non-static blocks will be executed for us. That is one. Okay. Then now I'm going to pass an argument here. So 10. Here 20.30. Right click, run as Java application. So as usual, first static blocks are executed, then comes to my main function. Now I'm creating an object. I'm passing an argument here. So when I pass an argument or when I don't pass an argument, does not bother. Always my non-static blocks will be executed first. Then based on the argument which constructor matches, that will be executed here. Then back to main. Then 20.30. But anyway, my non-static blocks will be executed first. Then after that, the matching constructor, double constructor will be executed for me here. Got it? So yeah, any question, guys?
Yes, Murli.
Yes, James.
Yeah, here we have created an object for non-static value. Then how it will consider it for constructor?
Sorry, you create an object for the
Non-static value.
what is that non-static value? I'm not getting.
I mean, suppose static sysO static block 1, sysO non-static block 1.
No, I did not. Okay, you're saying
Yeah,
the
yeah,
line
yeah.
number 5 and
Yeah,
7.
yeah,
So these are all non-static blocks, correct?
yeah,
Okay,
yeah, yeah. So we have created object for non-static blocks. Then
correct.
how it will call the constructor using this object?
Correct. So the thing is actually what here we are trying to means always whenever we create an object, by default the non-static blocks are being called. You pass an argument, you don't pass an argument, that's not a problem. Always non-static blocks will be executed. After that, the matching constructor based on the argument that will be executed. So whenever you have some mandatory statement that need to be executed at any point of time, you have it under the non-static blocks. Okay. So then after you have some information based on the argument only, if you want to execute, put it over there under the constructors. That is based on the argument that call will happen. Understood?
Okay. Yeah, thank you.
So in our Selenium, do we use static blocks or non-static blocks? No. We always prefer the constructors based on the argument only. Okay, got it? Is everyone clear on that part? Everyone clear on this? So now I want you guys to print me my output like this. So tell me what is the changes you guys have to do for the main function. So my output, I'll copy this. So now static block 1 and 2 that you cannot change it any point of time, that will be executed like that. Now the thing is actually I want default constructor back to main integer constructor. So this is what I need. This is my output. Can anyone tell me for this what is the changes that I need to do in my application? Can anyone tell me what is the changes I need to do? So first static block 1 and 2, then it comes to the main function. Then after that, I need to execute in this way. Yeah.
After
Yes, sir. Yeah.
after program starts, we need to remove n number to call the default constructor.
Super. Yes, correct. Then
Again, after back to main, again here in object 2, we can give int value.
so I will
Remove
just
constructor.
yes. Now let me execute it. Static block 1 and 2, program starts, then so comes here. Then after that, actually what I'm creating an object without an argument. So as usual, non-static blocks will be executed first, then the default constructor, an argument, a constructor which does not match the argument. Then after that, back to main. So comes here. Then after that again, now what happened? Comes here. Now I'm passing an integer argument. Any point after non-static blocks will be executed 1 and 2. Then matching constructor, integer constructor. Then finally program ends. Got it? So everyone is clear on the execution part, how static blocks will be executed, how non-static blocks will be executed, how constructors will be executed. Everyone is clear? This is what we have seen for today. Can everyone ping me as yes if you are clear about this part? I want to reply from everyone. Super, great guys. So now I will give you one program. So I want you guys to execute it. So this program, I want you guys to execute this. So now we'll execute this program. So first, when we execute the program over there, it creates a memory location for it. The memory location name will be my class name with some hexadecimal number, correct? So then after that, the first memory which will be created will be my static pool. Then always static members will be loaded. So what are the static members we have? Only one static block we have here, and then my one main function alone. That's what we have here. Yes. Then after that, actually what, as we know, always the static blocks will be first executed. Okay, so it creates a memory for that static block first. So for that, a memory will be created. Local memory for the static, that will be created. Then it executes. So first it prints static block. Then after that, now I'm creating an object here. So my class name is constructor. For that, I'm creating an object. Then after that, here, if you see, what is that here? Am I passing any argument? No. So it creates me an object here. Creates me an object here. So then it loads. Object name is obj. Then it loads the members for it. So what are the members for it? We'll see. So now if you see, so I told you any point of time my non-static blocks will be loaded for it. Okay, so I will just give the non-static blocks will be called as IIB, IIB1, IIB2. I'll just mention because there are two non-static blocks here. Then after that, the matching constructor. So which is the matching constructor? Am I passing any argument? No. So the constructor which does not have an argument will be loaded. Then after that, anything else will be loaded. Then my main function also gets loaded here inside my object. That's it. So that is all my static and non-static members will be loaded. So the non-static blocks are both the things. So now it will be executed in a sequential order because always non-static blocks will be executed in sequential order, correct? So now non-static blocks get executed. So this is IIB1. Then after that, it prints me non-static block 1. Okay, one more thing also I forgot. Here it loads actually what the I variable, which is a non-static variable, right? I. So then after that, system.println I. So where actually what this IB has been executed. See from here only. So then after that, first it checks whether do we have I variable here? No. Then it comes to the place where the memory is created. Here, do we have I variable? Yes, the value is 10. 10 will be printed for me here. Okay, then after that, next actually what? The IAB gets deleted. Then next actually what? IAB2. So the next memory, IAB2 gets created for me. From where? This also gets created from here only. Then next actually what? So then non-static block 2 gets executed. Okay. Then next actually my both non-static blocks are being executed. Okay. Then next what will happen right now for me? Once the non-static blocks are being executed, then my constructor, matching constructor, that is what this. So default constructor, so it executes. Then it brings to default constructor. Got it? Then after that, once the execution has been done, the memory is deleted. Then comes out of it. Then comes to the place wherever it's been done. So it comes over here. Then next actually what? obj.I goes to the obj to way of I variable. Yes, the value is 10. Then after that, static block 2 will be executed. Okay. So actually it's only one static block, just it has been given as static block 2. That's the one thing. Okay. So then the static blocks have been executed. Then after the static block has been executed, now next what will happen? Main function starts to execute. Now when the main function starts to execute, a local memory for main will be created. Local memory for main. So now program starts. Got it? Still now, anyone has any questions? Let me also execute this. Anyone has any questions so far, guys? So we'll execute and see what is the output for this. As of now, we have executed the first part. Whether that has been executed successfully, we'll see. So static block, non-static block 1. Here. Sorry. Okay, static block, non-static block 1, 10, non-static block 2, default constructor 10, static block 2, program starts. Till here we have executed. So it's correct. Understood? So anyone has any questions so far? Can everyone ping me as yes if you have understood so far? I just want to reply from everyone whether you guys are with me. Are you understanding it? Okay, super. Great guys. So now program starts. Then after that, now what will happen? I'm again creating an object. So now am I passing any argument here? No. So now what will happen? Again, a new object is created for me. OBJ. So before actually what the object is created, and one more thing, once we come out of the static block, the memory for that also has been deleted. Okay, so this object belongs to the static block. Now this object belongs to this main function. Okay, so then the name of the object is actually what? OBJ. Now again, so here what will happen, as I said, actually what? Whenever we create an object, so both the non-static blocks will be executed. So I'll just copy from here, IIB1 and 2. So always non-static blocks will be executed for any type of object creation. Then the matching constructor. So here it does not have any arguments. So this constructor gets loaded. Then as usual, my main function, I'll copy paste from here. My main function. Then after that, we have a non-static variable integer I equal to 10. That is loaded. Got it? So then after that, now non-static blocks gets executed for me. So I know the same type of information only is going to come. So I'm just going to copy paste the same thing so that there not be any same thing. So first for the non-static blocks, non-static block 1. Then my I value is what? For here it is 10. Then out of it come out of the non-static block. So this will be memory will be deleted. Then the non-static block 2. Non-static block 2. Then after that gets deleted. Then after that the matching constructor, default constructor. Then after that actually what comes out of it. Got it? Then after that again control comes back over here. Now obj.I. So goes to the obj. What is the I value? 10. 10 will be executed. Then next again, once again, I'm trying to create an object here. So here I'm passing actually what? An integer value. So it creates me another one more object here. That is obj1. Then after that here, as usual, for me IIB 1 and 2, I'm just copy pasting it. Then after the matching constructor, I'm passing actually what? An integer value. So constructor of integer A. Then after that, my main function. Then after that, the non-static variable. Got it? Then next section what? So all these things are loaded. Correct? Then as usual, my non-static blocks will be executed. So I'm just copy pasting. It will be the same. There will not be any changes. So copy pasting the same thing. So IP1 for that non-static block 1, and then the I value is what? So comes here, and then from there comes to the object. So it is 10. Then after that, the memory gets deleted. Then non-static block 2. Once that has been executed, this IAB2 will be deleted. Now actually what? The matching constructor, I'm passing an integer value, right? So this constructor gets executed. Constructor of integer A. Then I'll copy paste the same thing. Then after that, integer u equal to 10. See, integer u equal to 100. So then it loads a local variable integer equal to 100. Then after that, I. So here do we have I variable? No. From where it's created? obj1. Here do we have I variable? Yes, the value is 10. Okay. Then system.println A. So now, so A variable, right? System.println A. So now it comes over here. Do we have A variable? Yes. This is the local variable integer A. Integer A. The value of that is what? Right now, A variable value, that is what we passed 100. So that prints 100 for me here. Then integer argument constructor. Okay, executes this one. So then after that comes out of it, the memory gets deleted for me here. Correct. Then next actually what? New constructor of 10, 20.50. So still it follows the same thing. The same type of information will come. The only thing is constructor alone, based on that specific constructor alone, will be executed. Got it? Anyone has any questions on this thing? The same output for us here everywhere. Understood, guys? Everyone clear on this execution of a non-static block and constructor? So any type of object you create, non-static blocks are mandatory, will be executed in sequential order. Constructor based on the argument that will be executed next. Okay, that is how the execution flow happens. That's what we have seen still now. Got it? Can I get a reply from everyone? Whether you have understood about today, what are things we have seen is about constructors and then the non-static blocks, so that you guys are clear. And then functions also, we given a recap. You guys are clear about what is a basic function, what is return types, what is method overloading, what is constructor overloading. Okay, cool, super, great guys. So I'm just going to give you some assignments also today. So the whatever we have seen right now, right, based on that is what I'm going to give. So you guys are going to write a program here, so which accepts a default method, accepts an integer argument with return type as void, accepts integer and double argument with return type double, accepts double and integer argument with return type boolean. Like that I'll be giving you. You have to form a program based on these steps. Then a program, it should have two static variable, two non-static variable. You can give whatever name for it, integer variable or a double variable, whatever a value you can assign. It should have a static method, non-static method, a constructor, which is a default one, and overloaded one. Overloaded, you can pass integer or a double, whatever you want. Two static blocks, two non-static blocks. Utilize all members by printing the variables in all over the places. In all the places, you just try to print the variable which you created. You just try to print the values of it. Yes, correct. So the last two steps, okay, good question. So the last two steps, what we are doing is, we are not giving a name for the object, and then we are not giving the reference. So, but the thing is actually what? The steps execution will remain same. There will not be any changes on these type of executions. So new constructor of 10, 20.50, what it will do? As usual, both the non-static blocks will be executed first. Matching constructor is what? 10, 20.50. So this will execute integer and double argument constructor. The same thing, next thing, 20.50, 10, right? First two non-static blocks will be executed, and then double and integer constructor will be executed. Got it? Understood, guys? Super. Okay, so with this, I'll stop for today. The next session will be on our Monday. Okay, so that is actually what? 4th. Okay, on Monday 4th, we will have the next session. Okay, so once again, I'll show you here. We have done with the constructors here, and then we have done with the static and non-static blocks also. So next week's session is more important. I'm going to cover about the if condition and then loops, all those things. So which will be helpful for you. Okay. Okay, guys. Thank you. So with this, I'll stop it for today. So tomorrow we'll have the next session. Sorry, Monday we'll have the next session. Yes, Siddesh. Sunday evening will be for USA. Yeah. Thank you. Sure, Srinivas. We will have it. We can have it. Sure, no problem. Thank you. Thanks, guys. Thank you, everyone.